Croatia is a country located in the northwestern part of the Balkan Peninsula. It is a small yet highly geographically diverse crescent-shaped country. Its capital is Zagreb, located in the north. The present-day republic comprises the historically Croatian regions of Croatia, Slavonia, Istria, and Dalmatia. Although these regions were ruled for centuries by various foreign powers, they remained firmly Western-oriented in culture, acquiring a legacy of Roman law, the Latin alphabet, and Western European political and economic traditions and institutions. A part of Yugoslavia for much of the 20th century, Croatia suffered considerably from the disintegration of that federation in the early 1990s. The European trajectory of Croatia was finally realized in 2013 when it joined the European Union. The upper arm of the Croatian crescent is bordered on the east by the Vojvodina region of Serbia, and on the north by Hungary and Slovenia. The body of the crescent forms a long coastal strip along the Adriatic Sea, and the southern tip touches Montenegro. Within the hollow of the crescent, Croatia shares a long border with Bosnia and Herzegovina, which actually severs a part of southern Croatia from the rest of the country, by penetrating to the Adriatic in a narrow corridor. Croatia is composed of three major geographic regions. In the north and northeast, running the full length of the upper arm of the Croatian crescent, are the Pannonian and Para-Pannonian plains. To the north of Zagreb, the Zagorje Hills, fragments of the Julian Alps now covered with vines and orchards, separate the Sava and Drava river valleys. To the west and south of the Pannonian region, linking it with the Adriatic coast, is the Central Mountain Belt, itself part of the Dinaric Alps. The third geographic region, the Croatian littoral, is composed of the Istrian Peninsula in the north and the Dalmatian coast extending south to the Gulf of Kotor. Of the 26 rivers that flow for more than 30 miles in Croatia, the Sava and the Drava, coursing through the Pannonian and Para-Pannonian plains, are of particular importance, because along with the Kupa River, they are in large part navigable. The Sava originates in Slovenia, passes Croatia's capital city of Zagreb, and then forms most of the border between Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina along the inside of the Croatian crescent. The Drava enters Croatia from Slovenia, and forms all but a small section of the border with Hungary before joining the Danube, which in turn forms most of the border between Croatia and the Vojvodina province of Serbia. In addition, a great deal of water circulates in underground rivers and pools in the karstic regions of the Central Mountain Belt and the littoral. These waters account for many of the unique geologic formations and the picturesque landscape of central and western Croatia. The Pannonian and Para-Pannonian plains are enriched with alluvial soil deposited by the Sava and Drava rivers. These plains are the most fertile agricultural regions of Croatia and form the country's breadbasket. The soil of the central mountainous belt is rather poor, but offers some cultivable land in the fields and meadows, and some grazing land in the plateaus. The Croatian littoral is mostly mountainous and barren, with rocky soil and poor agricultural land. Two main climatic zones dominate Croatia. The Pannonian and Para-Pannonian plains and mountain regions are characterized by a continental climate of warm summers and cold winters. The central mountain regions of Lika and Krabava have slightly cooler summers and cold winters, with a milder climate in the valleys. The Dalmatian coast, Istria, and the islands have a mild Mediterranean climate. In southern Dalmatia, where the Sirocco winds bring a moderating influence from Africa, summers are sunny, warm and dry, and winters are rainy. Reflecting the country's diverse geography, the flora and fauna of Croatia are highly varied. On the Dalmatian coast, grapes and olives are grown to produce wine and oil, while Istria is dominated by firs, and Slavonia has many oak forests. In terms of animal life, lizards are found on the coast, while wolves and even bears can be found in the inland forests. Hares, foxes, boars, wildcats, and mouflons also inhabit Croatia. Sea life in the Adriatic is rich as well, with many coral reefs and underwater caves serving as habitats. A variety of ethnic groups coexist within the republic. Croats constitute about 9/10 of the population. Serbs make up the largest minority group, however, their proportion fell dramatically as a result of the 1990s War of Independence. In addition to the Croats and the Serbs, there are small groups of Bosnian Muslims, Hungarians, Italians, and Slovenes, as well as a few thousand Albanians, Austrians, Bulgarians, Czechs, Germans, and other nationalities. It has been estimated that the number of Croats living outside the borders of Croatia is comparable to the number living inside the country. Many ethnic Croats reside in Bosnia and Herzegovina, where Croats have lived since the Slavs first migrated to the Western Balkan Peninsula, in the 6th and 7th centuries. There is traditionally a close correlation between ethnic identity and religious affiliation. The Croats are overwhelmingly Roman Catholic and more Western influenced than the Serbs, who are overwhelmingly Eastern Orthodox. Croats speak Croatian, a South Slavic language of the Indo-European family. Croatian is quite similar to Serbian and Bosnian, but political developments since the collapse of Yugoslavia have encouraged the three ethnic groups to emphasize the differences between their languages. The clearest distinction between the Croatian and Serbian variants of what was previously called the Serbo-Croatian language is the script, with Croatian written in the Latin alphabet, and Serbian in the Cyrillic. Following the demise of communism in Croatia in 1990, the Croatian government began a course of restructuring the economy from the Yugoslav system of socialist self-management to market-oriented capitalism. By the late 1990s, nearly 1 in 5 members of the working-age population were jobless, with young people particularly being affected. Agriculture occupies less than 1/4 of Croatia's land, and contributes less than 1/10 of the country's gross domestic product. If we talk about the resources and power, we can notice that many deposits of oil and natural gas are found in the Pannonian valleys of eastern Slavonia, but Croatia consumes more oil and gas than it produces and thus make her dependent on imports. Croatia has excellent access to shipping routes because of its long coastline on the Adriatic. The major seaports of Rijeka, Zadar, Šibenik, Split, Ploče, and Dubrovnik link Europe, via the Suez Canal, with Asia and Australia. There are also several international airports in Croatia, with a number of them used largely for tourism. There has been significant investment in highways and railways within the country since the 1990s war. The first railway section on the territory of the today's Republic of Croatia, then part of the Austrian Empire and Austria-Hungary, was built in 1860 in Metamuria. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe.